just because you're not equipped for all the trouble that life throws at you doesn't mean it's going to stand back and let you get ready. The circumstances of the world around me are very strange. Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Sunday, June 9th, 2024. And today I have this is an interesting comic, Conan number 20, cover and interior by Kane for 20 cents from Marvel Comics. And you know what? I gotta say, from the cover, reduced size, to the interior, this is not a spectacular comic. This is not even a good comic. And I don't know if it's because Kane was just phoning it in, or because he'd done so many comics that he was a bigger draw than the material. But this is clearly a case of someone who's not interested in the material at all. This is someone who's a technician or an engineer, and there's just no magic in this book. There's a couple shots of a pretty girl and some monsters, and Conan is there, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't appreciate good work, but it just doesn't have it. Whatever the it factor that Barry Smith has, this doesn't have. Conan just seems like a regular buff dude, like any regular tough guy. He's not special. The enemies don't seem especially special. They seem like any other Marvel Comics baddie. I don't get any sense of anything out of this. I don't get anything out of this. This book really just left me cold. So, and I think, Barry Smith was the new artist. Conan was the hot book because he'd spent, 10 or 12 or 16 issues making it good. And I suspect that this is a case of, here you had an artist who'd done everything forever, and the company owed him. And you see this a lot with film studios and television shows. You see it especially a lot with TV shows, where the first season is amazing, and the second season it really falls off, and the characters are suddenly inconsistent. Nothing matters anymore. Something happens, a spark, some bit of life goes out of the series. And I suspect I've discovered that what that is big name artists who get to come in and bully the editor and demand that a hot book be given to them, or a hot series, that they be allowed to direct a couple episodes of a hot series because you owe me, and remember all this work I did for you. And now they're clearly just phoning it in, and they're not doing their best. And maybe the circulation picked up. This isn't even a good cover. You can't even tell what the back of the monster is. It's some kind of metallic monsters, and it's just a bad book. I'm not impressed with Kane, either as an artist or as an interviewee. The stuff I've seen of him so far does not move me, especially as an adult. There's a lot of Will Eisner's stuff that I really was blown away by. His framing, his character, the cartoony sort of characters he drew. And I need to get into more of that, like the spirit. And I've looked at the Nom because someone, I think Jim Lee, recommended the Nom for very realistic vehicles, but very cartoony characters. And I did look at it, and I liked it for that reason. The characters were a little too cartoony, I think. If he had pulled back a few degrees, it would have been just enough to still fit with the very realistic vehicles. So, and then I saw something else recently that had really unrealistic, not true to, well, I can't say that it's not true, but highly stylized background. Where stuff like a table, a cabinet, actually, a short dresser, was very twisted, and you could have said that it was a fisheye lens sort of technique, but it was more than that. It was bad art finished really well. And that has an appeal too. It has a very hand-drawn, stylistic appeal. And I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do cartoons finished in a highly polished style. And because that's just really, I don't know, something about that just feels really alive and magical. Speaking of magic, today's Wildwood Tarot is not this is just the book, is the Four of Bows celebration. And it's Sunday, so everyone should be celebrating with family, should be out having fun. I just read a quote from Tom Hardy that said, spending time at home alone in peace, just having snacks and having fun at home is priceless. And that's very true. So sometimes just getting to be with family and having nothing going on, not having to go anywhere or do anything, that's the best thing you can ask for. So I was working on updating this a little bit. Yesterday I put the bag of supplies in the kid's hand. If you can see it, it's a really light pencil. Today all I got done was another very light pencil layout. I am working on, I suppose I shouldn't move that when I say this, I'm working on learning how to have a very, very, very light hand. So you guys may not even be able to see what's going on here because I'm working on drawing so light that I can barely see it, which is really tough on my eyes. It's not fun. Today was a very frustrating day. I spent a lot of time with the hand-painted hand grenades too. I don't have anything to show for that yet either. I laid down some background reds and oranges with the glow paint that turned pretty much transparent by the time they dried. So yeah, I did some work, but not really anything to show off. This is the problem with art, is not every day do you have stuff to show off. But I did want to talk about that second season issue in TV and comics. And, that's something you see. People, when you have something successful, people come out of the woodwork to tell you how much you owed them. I watched Rocky the other day. I watched it with these girls doing popcorn in bed. It's really amazing to watch their reactions to things that I think, everyone takes for granted. Because they stayed in their bubble the same way I've stayed in mine. I never got into romance movies, and they watch happy ending romance movies. So watching them watch, action films, and I need to do this because I need to understand what audience I'm going for most of all. My stuff, Ashley Fox, Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox, is decidedly aggressive. It's not a happy ending. It's not for girls. It's a female main character, but in the same way you can have an action film with a child main character. Just because you're not equipped for all the trouble that life throws at you doesn't mean it's going to stand back and let you get ready. I've also been watching The Incredible Hulk. And, Bill Bixby's a very fascinating actor because he has the presence and the gravitas of someone with authority, and it's all mental in that he plays a doctor. He's certainly not physically intimidating. But the way he speaks to people is mildly condescending, but also attentive. And that is the essence of authority, isn't it? I mean, I suppose I hope I'm not being condescending here, because I don't know shit. All I know is my two novels. I think they're great, but the world hasn't told me I'm a success. I have all the right feedback from myself, but not from the rest of the world. So a lot of people could say, well, then you're clearly not a success, are you? Maybe. Circumstances change. I've had a lot of successful feedback from the world when I didn't think I was successful. I've gotten praise lots of times. Praise is not where the success lies. Praise can be misdirected. Praise can be gaslighting. Praise can be a lot of things. Praise doesn't tell you shit about your own work. Praise doesn't mean anything. When someone compliments me, like, for how much I work out, that's like, all they're really doing is it's almost like they're trying to short circuit my insult for them being unfit. And I don't insult people for their physical appearance. I think that's one of the lowest forms of, it's not really humor. I got bullied a lot as a kid, so I don't bully people. I don't believe in it. I'll just fight you. I'll fight you, or I will, do whatever I can behind the scenes to destroy your world, which is what I'm doing. Like, me doing this is everything I could ever want to do. I'm as happy as can be. So yeah, me drawing comics on the weekends, and I'm having a great time. The circumstances of the world around me are very strange. It feels like there's a lot of Renfielding going on. This is something Thomas Sheridan talks about. Everyone feels like they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I saw Cliff High posted today that the strategic, the oil reserve dollar, basically the oil dollar ended today. The dollar is reserve currency or something like that. Some petroleum Saudi Arabia dollar thing ended, and no one's noticing. He's saying shit's gonna really go sideways July 15th and 16th. Some other people are saying it's going sideways right now. The economic people have been screaming about it for years, since before Trump's election. So there's been this perpetual the other shoe's gonna drop thing, and maybe it will and maybe it won't. At this point, I'm kind of cheering for it. I'm kind of cheering for, someone to drop the big one. I'm drawing it. I believe it's behind this. Under my hand? No, where is it? Oh, is this? I swear to God, you used to be able to see a nuke on this, but clearly there is no nuke here. Just this fireball. It's not really a nuclear bomb. But anyhow, what is there to be worried about? The animals aren't worried. They don't have anything going on. You know what I mean? There's not anything, it's all just fake drama. It's all just fake drama. Don't buy into it. Don't buy the lies. Stay in shape. Listen to good music. Have fun with friends. Draw good comics. Read good books. And of course, listen to good audiobooks. All right, see you guys.